You know, in all fairness, I have every reason to smile the way I am right now. Because this may very well have been the best birthday I've ever had. Like, probably in the last 10 years. And I don't even know where to begin. I mean, literally from morning till night, I probably ran into so many people that I've known forever. Some of them since I was in high school. Some even since I was a little kid. And just being able to see them, and it was never planned, it just happened. Like, it really made me feel loved. And this is the birthday I was at least hoping to have for several years now. I mean, well, let me get my little hand back to kindness before I tell the truth about this. I mean, I have before, but for those of you who don't know. So, well, I mean, let's be real, my low is the fact that yesterday is now over. That's my low. That's a pretty good problem to have, all things considered. But my high is literally everything else that happened. And my act of kindness was I got to our table early to make sure everything was fine before we got to that fated place, which I'll be talking about momentarily. So, with that in mind, good morning, and welcome to the final Thursday of 2022. Before I begin, I would like to point out that tonight my Cowboys are playing the Titans. I'm choosing the Cowboys. There you go. Now I can talk about what it is I meant to talk about. So, full disclosure, I'd say for the last 5 birthdays, prior to last night, of course, they pretty much had gone to like a valley motion. Like 28 was my family, particularly my mom and I, were fighting. So for the most part, I kind of spent that birthday alone. 29, everybody forgot my birthday. 30, it was okay. Well, 30, my grandfather was dying of cancer. And it was on my 30th birthday where he said one of the last things he ever said to me, which was he was disappointed in me. On my 30th birthday. Yeah. 31 was better by comparison. But to be honest, okay, I mentioned this back when I was doing the Why I'm Still Here videos. There's this one guy who used to work in my father's shop who was just the worst. I say was because he's dead. And I'll be honest, I'm not sad that he's gone at all. Like, the worst thing he ever, like, this is the kind of guy who'd pick fights, run his mouth, and the final straw for me was, admittedly a few years ago, I got in trouble at a certain place. The kind of trouble that involves not being allowed to go to this certain place for a while. Not permanently, just a while. And this particular guy I'm talking about right now harassed it out of me. Yes, he harassed it out of me. Like, he's like, why can't you go? Why? So, I mean, it's not like he did it on my actual birthday, but because of that, it kind of ruined the vibe from like Christmas onward at that, because it happened like before Christmas. So he kind of ruined the whole vibe from Christmas to till just recently. Only recently have I been allowed back into this particular place. So, yeah. Not sad that he's gone. And then last year had been like the best so far. But considering, that birthday was more trying to make sure that it, like, the phrase you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win? That's what it felt like. Like, I was trying to make 32 not a bad birthday, as opposed to just trying to make it a good one. This birthday, turning 33, the birthday I had last night, this is what happens when I try and make it a good birthday. And let me tell you, I succeeded. Really and truly, this was, like, you know what, I feel comfortable in saying this. When I celebrate my birthday, this should be the standard I should try and hope for. Could it possibly be better? Maybe. But let me tell you something. Last night I went to Liv's. It's hard to beat that. Although I will admit, remember when I mentioned earlier when my grandfather, before he died, he said to me he was disappointed in me on my 30th birthday? That actually ruined my birthday so much that we went to Liv's that night and not even Liv's saved it. I mean, Liv's can do a lot of things, but it's hard for me to actually say it can work miracles. Because not even Liv's was able to save my 30th birthday. So, I can tell you that, I mean, it made the situation better. But I mean, my grandfather literally said to me he was disappointed in me that day, on my 30th birthday. What could you possibly do to recover from that within a day? You can't. And the only thing you can just do is try and make it a bit better, which is exactly what Liv's did. That's my 30th birthday. Let's focus on the here and now. Because let me tell you something. When it comes to the here and now, this was the standard. This is the new standard which my birthday should be from now on. Like, spend the day with family. Thank everyone who wishes me a happy birthday via Facebook. And there's a lot of people who wish me a happy birthday. I know it's my birthday. Don't make it completely about yourself. Don't make it completely about me. I don't want to make it completely about me. Because if I wind up doing that, I wind up inconveniencing other people that I care about. And I don't want to do that. So I tried everything I could to make sure that I could enjoy my birthday while also being, as convenient as possible for everyone involved. And I think I got the formula down for that. Now, granted, a few things needed to happen prior to that I don't think will happen again. But I think I have an idea. I mean, full disclosure, if we were able to do this, we could have gotten my brother, his wife, and my nephews to come, but they're in Connecticut at the moment visiting my sister-in-law's family. So, can't really do that. But of course, give me the family. Of course I'd let them come to my birthday. Absolutely. So, we got to Liv's, and it was myself, my mother, my father, and my grandparents. FYI, my grandmother is Liv's biggest fan. And it's not even close. So, and here's where it gets funny. My mom and my grandmother ordered the exact same thing. And my father and I ordered the exact same thing. I mean, Liv's has really good bread and butter, but we ordered a garlic bread with cheese and, marinara for dipping and stuff. If you're not dipping your garlic bread with cheese and marinara, you're not doing it right. We all got salads, Italian crummy blue, Italian dressing with crummy blue cheese. which, when it comes to that version of the salad, Liv's version is hard to beat. And I've had some really good ones. Sorge's is pretty good. Antique Inn is pretty good. But Liv's does it their own way. And it's awesome. My mother and my grandmother ordered the ground sirloin Parmesan style. That comes with sauce and cheese. Sometimes it comes with peppers and onions, but they didn't want peppers and onions. Now my grandfather, on the other hand, he also ordered the ground sirloin, but he actually wanted the peppers and onions, but no sauce and cheese. If that makes sense. And my mother and my grandmother each had a side of shrimp scampi, which I'll get into in a minute. And then my father and I, we ordered the fillet and the scampi. Their legendary surf and turf, if you will. Now, since 2018, I've actually been alternating between having the fillet and having the prime rib with the scampi. And the reason for that is, for many years, I did have the fillet. But back when the late, great Anthony Bourdain was alive, there was this one YouTube video he came out with, which is actually still on YouTube, obviously, where he talked about how the tenderloin, which the filet mignon is from, is the most boring, uninteresting piece of meat there is. Now, and I actually explained this way back on day 550. Yes, I still remember day 550. That was when I first talked about Liv's, by the way. Day where the rationale is, you know, the tenderloin is small. There's not a lot of it on the animal, and due to that, you know, that's why it's so expensive. And it's not very fatty, which, you know, fat equals flavor. It's tender, which, if you're into tender, then it's perfectly fine. But it doesn't really provide, but, you know, tenderness isn't enough to constitute a truly great steak. However, I've always felt that Liv's is the exception to the rule. So I couldn't just simply deny myself getting the filet, but the surf and turf could also come with a 24-ounce prime rib. You know, I can't choose between the two, so I alternate, and that's what I do. And so last night was the filet, and then we had the shrimp scampi. Ladies and gentlemen, I've said this many times before, and I'll continue to say it until my dying day. That shrimp scampi is the best individual thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. That dish is the dish that made me love garlic. That dish is the reason why I say there is no such thing as too much garlic. Seriously, full disclosure, I just brush my teeth, I still taste garlic on my breath. I love it so much. It's so good. It's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. So good. So having that shrimp scampi with the filet or the prime rib, you know, there is a reason why that is the main course on my full course menu of life. Right. For those of you who don't know, there was this one anime and manga that I read called Toriko, and you don't have time for the whole story, but you know, one of the main plot points was a full course menu of life, and so that inspired me to have one of my own. And I have the surf and turf from Liv's as my main course. Yeah, see, it consists of an hors d'oeuvre, a soup, a salad, a main course, a meat, a fish, a dessert, and a drink. So 8 things. And I have the surf and turf from Liv's as my main course. Okay, fine. So my hors d'oeuvre is wings. My soup is clam chowder or medium clam chowder or French onion. Either one will do for me. In a perfect world, I have both, but let's say, for the sake of argument, I only have one or the other. Oh, actually, it's my full course menu. Of course, I have both. Why not? Salad, it's pretty simple. Italian dressing with crumbly blue cheese. But if I actually have to have a salad that's named either Caesar or Caprese, that's a mom food one I'll get into at some point. The latter's a mom food. I just said what the main course was, the surf and turf from Liv's. Now, meat, I go with ribeye. Ribeye steak. That's the best cut of steak I believe there is, and that's essentially that's what the prime rib at Libs is. So there you go. Now my fish dish, let's be honest, fish doesn't really fill me up as much as I feel it should. Believe me, if it was, I'd put the shrimp scampi from Libs there. But I decided I gotta go with crab legs. Bonus points if you can get all you can eat. My dessert, Swedish fish Italian, well, really anything from Rita's, but let's say Swedish fish Italian ice. And for my drink, I'm a soda guy. So, there, you now have some ideas to what my last meal would be if I were to be on death row or something. I don't know. But let's focus on the servitor from Libs. It's the best. And the only thing that was just as good as the food were all the wonderful, hardworking staff. I mean, there's a reason why Libs is held in such high regard for many people in this area. Because those people at Libs work very hard. And they're very nice too. And very accommodating. They're what, restaurant workers should strive to be. And I really do feel among the very best at it. I mean, what can I say? It's Libs. I've talked about it like 100 times before, and I'll talk about it, well, more than 100 times going forward. But, I'm still going to continue to talk about it whenever I can. Because it's just that good. I mean, pretty obvious, I wholeheartedly recommend anyone and everyone come and try Libs at least once. You're guaranteed for a good meal. And no kidding. Upon arriving at Libs, I was 15 feet away from the door, and I could already smell what was cooking inside. When that happens, you're in for a good meal. Enough said. Actually, technically, no, it's not enough said, but I can't think of much else to say right now. So, actually, I can talk about dessert. Normally, we don't order dessert, but it was my birthday, why not? So, my grandmother ordered the lemon tart. I believe it was, I think it's a lemon tart. That's really good. But I actually had the turtle cheesecake, which, that turtle cheesecake. I mean, I love caramel, I love chocolate, I love pecans. Yeah, I love turtle anything. A good turtle sundae is my jam. So, yeah, this was a great, this cheesecake was so good, it would make the Golden Girls swoon. That's how good it is. And, I had some coffee, decaf, because, it was almost 8 o'clock at night. It had to be decaf. What can I say, man? This was a good birthday. In fact, it was so good that if 2022 were to have ended last night, I would have said that in spite of everything, 2022 was a good year. I really do mean that. In a lot of ways, I guess, the final quarter of this year was leading to this. And of course, I was excited for my birthday. But again, I didn't think it'd get to this level of good. This is it. This is the standard of what a good birthday for me should be. And that's just for me. It doesn't have to be for everyone. Some people don't go to Libs for their birthday. That's fine. I'm not going to judge. That's just what I do. And it's what I plan on doing from now on. I can't wait to go back to Libs. Hopefully it won't be another year until I go. Seriously, in all of 2022, my family and I have been there. I've only been there 3 times. It was first my father's birthday last February, and then in April when my nephews got baptized. At this point, I was like, okay, we're going once every 2 months. Cool, I can deal with that. Once every 2 months, you're going for a total of 6 times. And then last night was the first time we've been to since April. It's only 3 times. So, if you can believe it, that's actually more than I usually go in a year. So I got lucky. That's actually lucky. I can't wait to go back, but I technically can wait to go back. I mean, I was just there. I'm not expected to go back within 24 hours. But I just hope the next time I go, it's not too far away. So, to the good staff at Lib Supper Club in Elmira, New York, thank you for the delicious meal. And yes, I legitimately lost sleep last night over wondering how the good men and women at Libs accomplished such a feat of culinary magnificence. Seriously, I'm just thinking, how do we do that? You know what? I don't know, but that's okay that I don't know. Because it was that good, I'm not even going to question it. I hope you all liked this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble in this video for all you guys watching Joe today. And hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful final Thursday of 2022. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear, and I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.